And that's not how plagiarism works.
That's
Sorry.
not how plagiarism
works. I mean, if that's how plagiarism works, I'm going to show up tomorrow in that Fitchburg State T-shirt that Howard has on, and he's going to be like, "Hey, you plagiarized that."
And now that we're back and we're still on the topic of Resident Evil Village, we need to discuss probably the biggest thing in our next segment.
Controversy!
Exactly. No bullying segment this time. We're going to discuss the amount of plagiarism brought up in Resident Evil Village.
Well,
now,
potential plagiarism.
Potential, but there's been a lot. Now, I guess we can start with the premise, because Resident Evil Village is basically... The village premise is just basically the main bad guy used a bunch of people as lab experiments to create monsters, and now there's a whole village full of them, right? We can just say that in like the most simplest terms possible.
I wouldn't consider that a spoiler.
Yeah, that's not not a spoiler. So of course there's things ranges from draugrs to werewolves to walking puppets, right? So let's just start with I guess the easiest one we can get out of the way. Is the character Heisenberg.
Best character.
Best character. Comically, everyone has pointed out, he just looks like Dante from Devil May Cry 5. To the point where they even modded Devil May Cry 5 so Dante can have Heisenberg's outfit. Pretty funny meme. Good meme. I liked it. But then we get to the next serious one, which is Lady Dimitrescu, the vampire lady that was basically the main promotional material for the whole entire game. And I'm pretty sure this is the art book or some artwork in-game is basically copied from a French magazine from the early 1900s. Now, to the point where the dress, the hat, the hair was basically the same thing. Now, this was concept art, not the final design. But people were pointing out, wow, they literally just stole from a 30s or 40s fashion catalog. And my response is, do you know how much people steal from old fashion catalogs? A lot. There's fashion trends in animation where they steal from fashion catalogs.
How do you steal an actual physical outfit for a character design?
I don't know.
I don't think that's how that works.
They just drew a dress that was hyper similar.
That's not how that works.
And
that's not how plagiarism works.
That's
Sorry.
not how plagiarism works.
I mean, if that's how plagiarism works, I'm going to show up tomorrow in that Fitchburg State T-shirt that Howard has on, and he's going to be like, "Hey, you plagiarized that."
And he'd be like, "Lamau, no!"
That's how ridiculous this sounds.
It's very weird, but maybe this would be the thing if it was a vampire character from the 30s and they plagiarized the design, and it was also Lady Dimitrescu, who is also a vampire lady, maybe, but it just seems
the outfit.
It just seems like they just copied the outfit and then called it a day. And if we're gonna go with the character's backstory that she's she trades in France a lot and gets fashion from France, and she's immortal because she's a vampire.
But isn't she not an actual vampire?
Spoilers.
Cut it out.
Cutting it out. But she's a vampire. She's lived for a while. Of course, it makes sense that she's gonna adopt old French fashion. I mean, what do you do if you're a character designer for a comic and you need to look, okay, 1920s outfits? Then you look at all of them and you go, I can't draw any of these because I'll be stealing them. That's fashion. That's history. That's you can't redraw George Washington again. Am I insane?
No. I think the people insane are the people claiming this is plagiarism. Because again, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Sorry, but it's not.
It's like you just drew something that looks like a basketball jersey, and the NBA just kicks down the door saying, "What you drawing?" And it's well, I drew a simple basketball jersey, and they're like, "You just stole Michael Jordan's outfit." And it's like, what?
We're suing you for $500,000.
This is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is silly. But we're not done.
No.
We're not done. So this is a huge spoiler warning for Resident Evil Village, probably the second one in this video already. So, timestamp, if you want to skip it, but we're going to be talking about this for the rest of the episode, so you can just probably tune off. I love you. Bye-bye. Subscribe. Okay?
And to be fair, it's not a major spoiler.
It's not a major spoiler, but still a spoiler. Now, the fourth one, we already mentioned, Heisenberg. He basically takes these zombies and he makes them into like mechanical monsters. And someone on Twitter has made a ginormous thread claiming that almost all of his monsters that Heisenberg himself made are all plagiarizing or look very, they pick the deceptively good words of very similar, to avoid controversy, to the 2013 movie Frankenstein's Army. Now, we looked at these pictures already, and almost none of them actually have a decent case.
Almost.
Except for one. And that is the propeller. These things are called strums, by the way.
Storm.
Strum. Oh, misspelled. Strum. The propeller strum looks way too similar to the one in Frankenstein's Army. Now, you can't say there was obvious, blatant inspiration.
Inspiration, because like it's a little too specific of a character design to have an airplane propeller as someone's entire upper body.
Yeah.
So I can see where it's coming from, but I think it's more inspiration than outright plagiarism.
You know what I think of it? Because I just thought of this now. It's like Digimon, the orange one, Agumon. How that's blatantly inspired by Charmander and Charizard, but like it's not though. But it looks very similar if you don't know what both of them are, right? Now this is obviously like the two propeller ones. They look way too similar. But
and we'll obviously have the pictures of each character up on the screen for you.
Yeah, but like it's obvious that like maybe Capcom started with the Frankenstein's Army design and just looked at it and said, how do we improve this to fit the tone of our game? I think that's had to be what happened there. That seems way more, because it doesn't look 100% like it. And also, I don't know what Frankenstein's Army is. So I don't know.
Neither of us had even heard of Frankenstein's Army until this controversy started.
And I don't know if they were even inspired by the movie.
I don't know.
So like it could just be like
coincidence? It's happened multiple times that like studios, both video game and movies, have been working on very, very similar things at the exact same time. It happened with Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil. That's really the only example I can think of at the moment.
Or you could think of how Killer Instinct basically made a whole fighting game roster off of 90s movie trends. Like how Riptor is basically just the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park originally, till they redesigned it.
Yep.
It seems more coincidental, and no one has ever really heard of Frankenstein's Army.
Yes.
So maybe if they said, maybe if Frankenstein's Army was the inspiration, it'd be nice for them to credit.
That would be nice.
But like,
Capcom hasn't made a statement about it yet, have they?
Capcom has not made a statement, but like, it feels really weird that like some random obscure movie is like, hey, Japanese people from another country over a sea, where's my credit? You obviously watched my film. I have like the inner feeling that they're probably looking at him going, who are you? What did you make? As much as it probably, he should absolutely get credit if they did steal it, but if they didn't, it's just gonna look kind of weird. It's like the gray area of copyright with how bad these laws are. But anyway, still a good game. You should still get it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Who cares about Frankenstein's Army? I don't. No one watched it.
I didn't.
He didn't.
No, we forgot to talk about how all the other enemies in that area are apparently plagiarized.
Oh, I did. I brought up, like, okay. So they also claim that all the other strewn look.
The normal enemies are called soldats.
Oh, soldats. Okay. So the other soldats are akin to other monsters, and the thread is such a stretch. Like, none of them look like Heisenberg's monsters.
The only one that maybe was the jet soldat, and that's only because it had a hammerhead-like thing.
If that's the case, I want him to go up to a hammerhead shark and like try to like give it like subpoenas.
And I think the other one was the Panzer soldat, and the only thing that looked familiar was that it had a circle on his face.
Yeah. This thread is really stretching. Like,
listen, director of Frankenstein's Army. You know, if that's the case, like, Lego's gonna sue you for copying the Exotoa from Bionicle. This has a circle for a face.
Yeah.
Lego's gonna sue you. I don't know what to tell you, pal.
I mean, I guess the best part is we're gonna have to be totally honest. The director didn't make this thread. This is some random dude. This is some random dude. That's why
the director had retweeted the thread, but I don't think he even said anything about it.
But when we checked, nothing said.
Yeah.
So that's why when I mentioned this, like the deceptive language of very similar designs, he's instigating something to happen, in which there may be a case. Most likely for all the things in the thread, other than the propeller one, he has nothing.
Yeah. No.
There's nothing. This is going to be a losing battle if he even attempts this. But anyway, I mean, I guess go watch Frankenstein's Army and play Resident Evil 8.
Sure.
Support people.
We'll have a Doritos Connections Mountain Dew movie night with Frankenstein's Army.
Yeah, and by movie night, I mean we're going to do it in separate houses and then watch it and then probably never talk about it or think about it, if we even get to watching it.
Yeah.